Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Synesthesia Tarot, and in today's Pick a Deep Fried Meme reading, we are going to be asking, do you pass the vibe check? Now, if your vibes are immaculate, we will be hyping you up, seeing what you can do to make them even better, and just giving you some advice for moving forward. But if you do not pass the vibe check, don't worry, because here at Synesthesia Tarot Industries, we have a very strict no vibe left behind policy. So we will see what you can do to fix your vibe and get you back where you need to be in alignment, being your best self. So we have 4 piles to choose from today, and I'm gonna hold all of them up for you. But to start, we have pile 1 with the pink tiger tarot and this nice meme that says, "Hey buddy, now I might just be an eyeball, but eyeball." We have pile 2 with the Affirmators Tarot and this fun little guy that says, "Yeah, I guess you can call me woke. In fact, I haven't slept in days." Pile 3, we have the Whispering Spirits Tarot and this fun little Gru meme that says, "Oh, so you are good at math. What is your social security number?" And finally, for pile 4, we have the Synesthesia Tarot and this fun little doge here to say, "Hey simp, you drop this, your self-respect." So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile or meme you feel most drawn to. It's absolutely okay if you can't choose based on the meme. I understand having good taste can be really difficult sometimes. So if that's the case, I would try to pick based on the deck you feel most drawn to. But once you have picked your pile, you can go ahead and scroll down to the description box or the comments section down below where I will have all of the timestamps listed. And once you have picked your pile, we will get into your reading. Hi there, pile 1. If you guys chose the first deep fried meme, now I might just be an eyeball, but eyeball, this is going to be your reading. Now, to make sure you pick the right pile and this reading is actually for you, and for me to know what I need to tell you, we have to check the vibes first. So if these sound like your vibes, congratulations, you picked the right pile. If this doesn't sound like your vibes, then I would try a different pile you feel drawn to. You can check out all 4 of them. I do the vibe check in the beginning, but if you don't see your vibes here, I don't think I picked up on them today. So I apologize for that, but stick around or maybe try a different reading and maybe we'll pick up on your vibes another day. So, okay, let's go ahead and start. We're going to use the tarot to get into messages later, but we're going to start with the oracles. So first we have nature. Ground yourself, find a sanctuary in nature, connect with the elementals. We have warrior. We have door to spirit and adjacent possibilities. We have everything you need too soon in reverse and scry mirror. We have the Avenger, desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. We also have share wisdom. And finally, we have instinct and confusion. We have endurance and freedom in reverse. Okay. And as usual with me, I'll just say, like, do you pass the vibe check? It's not going to be that simple. I always give a very convoluted answer. When have I ever uploaded a reading under an hour? It's not my vibe to be that clear. So anyway, pile 1, let's talk about your vibe. So the first thing that I'm seeing here is that when you are feeling good, your vibes are immaculate. And actually, you really do pass the vibe check. I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to give you a solid B. Like if I was going to give you a grade. B's to get degrees, so don't be upset with me. Anyway, looking at your energy or your vibes, I feel like I'm going to beat that to death. So I'm just going to try to stop doing that now. You are bursting with good ideas, and I sense that this pile has a lot of mental energy, and you're probably overthinking a lot. I actually had to redo your intro which I found really interesting because for once I did my intro for the actual intro, like in one take. I was so proud of myself. And then I started yours and I just like, blah, 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 I messed it up. Oop, and now I messed up the cards. So I feel like y'all might be in your head a little bit. You might be overthinking a lot. And what I really like about you guys is that you do have really intense vibes. But, oh God, I'm going to say vibes too much. Don't take a shot for every time I say vibes. You will not make it through this video. And I'm not paying for your hospital bills. Anyway, you're versatile. And I feel like you're probably somebody who has a lot of different passions. For a lot of you, you could be at a stage in life where you're making some type of transition, or like, for example, you're having to make important life decisions, like what major you want to go into, where you want to move to, what you want to do, or even just within your career, for example. And I would say when it comes to career, this is probably something either creative or more entrepreneurial. You're bursting with good ideas, but you're having trouble grounding them, is what I'm getting. And I feel like maybe you're so open to different possibilities, or your head is just rushed with so many different ideas that you're almost overwhelming yourself. And I think at the same time, you're almost looking for too much outside guidance. And I feel like that's kind of why you're struggling here. It's like you might be jumping from good idea to good idea and then not grounding any of those ideas actually. Or you might be really indecisive on which way to go or which path to take. And I feel like this is really holding you back because you're not typically the type of person who doubts themselves or doubts their intuitive abilities or what they need to do. Or you're just the type of person who tends to be indecisive. And maybe this is like one of the first times you've actually had the opportunity to be very free, either with your creativity, with where you want to go down your path next, or what it is you want to do. And as a result, I almost feel like you're kind of stagnating, and then in turn, being really hard on yourself, which I'm going to be clear is not the vibe, does not pass the vibe check. And you're really being unfair to yourself, because the first thing that you need to know and understand is that you, one, cannot make a wrong decision. There is no such thing as right or wrong decisions. There just are decisions. But your lack of action towards this goal, towards this project, whatever it may be, towards your life path, is creating more confusion. And I actually think that maybe you've been searching for answers outside of yourself mostly. For some of you, I'm picking up that maybe you're just on social media a lot, or you find yourself comparing yourself to other people. And it kind of seems like this social media thing is a double-edged sword. Like, it gives you a lot of inspiration, but I think at the same time, it also, you find yourself comparing yourself to other people and what other people have created. And I think that's creating doubt within you and more uncertainty. So what Spirit really wants you to know, and the first thing you need to do to check your vibe, is that you really do need to ground yourself. And grounding, one, going out in nature is a great way to do this. Just going outside is an excellent way to do this. I feel like you're looking for spiritual guidance in all the wrong places, except for right here. You know, I'm not going to drag myself. But Spirit is asking you to look at the people that you are admiring. Look at the people that you do look up to and wish to live up to, and recognize all the qualities within them that you also have. I think it's important to realize that comparison can be the thief of joy, and it's unfair to compare yourself to somebody else because you're not somebody else, you're you. And what I think is really awesome about you is that you are a fighter. Like with this warrior card here, you could be like an Aries or a Taurus. You certainly don't have to be. But I think that like as you've been growing and as you've been changing, you're reevaluating what's worth fighting for you. So this doesn't even have to be like a project. This could just be maybe changing the vibes around you, like changing your friend circle, maybe changing who you hang out with for some. I feel like you're kind of getting lost in a lot of different energies, and I think that, and I catch myself saying I think a ton, which I typically say I feel, so you're definitely in your head. You're uncertain. And honestly, Spirit's kind of saying that vibe is in alignment for you, my dude. You're actually supposed to be unsure. Because one, I think you're very focused on a destination or a specific goal, and you're not understanding that you could reach that same goal by going in many different doors. Spirit also just told me past life regression. There might be something deeper for you. You might want to look into past life regression and kind of see if that's something you might be interested in trying. I know there's meditations on YouTube, but I will give you just a small warning. Past life regressions can be triggering. Listen, like my past lives have not been all fun and games, and like truthfully, a lot of your past lives will have some messed up shit in it. It will not be a good vibe. So, but it's kind of important for that to be the case, because you kind of understand why your soul might have picked up certain fears, certain phobias, or certain habits, or feel a certain drive or purpose towards something. Like maybe the direction you want to go towards is a cause that your soul has been very concerned about in multiple past lives. And I feel like Spirit is trying to get you to understand that you're a lot more prepared to get going than you think you are. Your mind is your biggest enemy right now. If anything is not the vibe, it is your mind and the way it is overthinking. Because I think for some of you, it's maybe even less so your mind and more that like you're passionate about so many different things and you don't know what to hone in on. You might be split between two different decisions, or you might just be like stressed about what is right for you. And the first thing you need to know is that I think that you can ball at a lot of different things, and that's okay. You might be a jack of all trades type, or like, for example, if you were playing Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, if you were a character in Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, you would be in the all-around category, you know what I mean? Like if you were an elite gymnast, you would be competing in like the all-around event, you know what I mean? You're not just bars, you're not just floor, you're all of them. And I think what Spirit wants you to understand is that you might be putting too much pressure on yourself to figure something out. And when in fact, this opportunity is here, you're in this energy of confusion, not to stall you completely, but to instead give yourself the opportunity to explore things without picking something yet, without committing to something yet. Because it's clear to me that whatever you do pick, you'll be amazing at it. But you might find yourself, and I think this is an ego thing with you, where you feel like if you pick something and you find that it doesn't fit your vibe anymore, that you were wrong or that you made the wrong choice. And that's just not the case. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to be less passionate about things. You're allowed to find that things are not working out for you. With this Share Wisdom card, this card talks about lapis lazuli. That might be a stone you want to get. I have some right here, actually. This is lapis lazuli, and this is actually represents the throat chakra. So maybe for some of you, you might want to work on healing that. But I definitely think that grounding is incredibly important, because I also think that maybe you know what direction you want to go in, but you have tons of different ideas and you're struggling to pick one. And I think that you're holding yourself to an incredibly unrealistic expectation of what's possible for you. And one thing that Spirit wants you to understand is that you need to separate what you create from yourself, from your own self-worth. Because what you create, I'm just going to be real with you, is not going to be perfect. Like, you know, what I create isn't perfect. What anyone creates isn't perfect. Although Olivia Rodrigo's new album is really good, borderline perfect. So shout out to her, she's a queen. But anyway, I think Spirit wants you to understand that you need to redirect your focus. And in fact, when you redirect your focus to the present moment and spend more time in nature, you're gonna get insane confirmations, inspiration, guidance that you didn't think was possible. And you're gonna realize, oh, I was looking in the wrong places the whole time. Because I think that you are bursting with wonderful ideas, and you don't have to pick one yet, but it's almost like Spirit just wants you to explore without pressure. And I think because you are so intense, because you want to create things that you're proud of, because you want to do things that are best for you, to be in the best vibes, you sell yourself short or stop yourself before you even get started. And so Spirit really wants to take you out of your mind. And I'm just hearing, what is that song from? Get out of your mind. It's like, I think it's by the same guy that does To the Window, to the Wall, till sweat drops down my balls, all these bitches crawl. Ah, skeet skeet, motherfucker. Ah, skeet skeet, goddamn. Ah, skeet skeet, I'm gonna get demonetized. I think it's that. But I could be wrong, though. It's something about getting out of your mind. And Spirit's like, get out of your mind. Okay, anyway. Because if you got out of your mind, you would realize how prepared you are and how ready you are for this next step, or to just go through one door. Like, to just start exploring. And I feel like you passed the vibe check in terms of, like, your tenacity, your creativity, your drive, your motivation, your passion, your purpose. You're awesome. But your brain is really stalling your vibes because you're too stuck in it. You're just too stuck in your mental body. And in fact, what you need to change is, so 32 reduces to 5, which is the number of change. And so what you need to change is, one, where you're getting guidance, except for me. Not me. You come back, please. But it's okay if you want to leave. No pressure. I'm just gonna say your vibes aren't that strong. I'm just kidding. But anyway, you have to have, and so the changing 5. Yeah, you guys are very, like, y'all jump from, like, thing to thing to thing. You are very quick mentally, which is a strength and a weakness. And that's actually why grounding will be really wonderful for you, because it will help you slow down. Like, I feel like you need to be by a body of water specifically. So if there's one around you, that might be ideal. Or even, like, being near a fountain, just something, like, calming. Also, in addition to lapis lazuli, I feel like these two stones right here, blue lace agate and aquamarine, could be really helpful for you. I find them to be really helpful when I find my brain, when my brain just wants to go brr everywhere, you know? So it can be helpful. And I also think you need to start trusting your third eye a little bit more. But Spirit is telling you that you might want to direct your attention to the causes or the things that you feel most passionate about. And you might be like, I have no idea what I'm passionate about. Well, buddy, that's why you need to explore. And that's why you need to be open to it. Because going back to what I was saying, because I did take a tangent there, 5 is the number of change. You need to change how you're getting your guidance. I think you need to trust your internal guidance more, which I feel like typically you do, but because you are in this energy of confusion, you're feeling like you can't trust yourself. And instead of feeling like your intuition's off or your vibes are off or you're wrong, instead realize that these are the vibes that you're meant to be in right now so that you can figure out your path and stop putting so much pressure on yourself to succeed at something. Succeeding, well, first of all, success is a subjective definition. You know, if success is making $1 billion and having a big old baller house, then yeah, achieving success is going to be a little bit more difficult. But if your idea of success is just finishing a project, getting out of bed, man, like just getting out of bed, there, you're successful right there. You're already a successful person. And like, I feel like you will realize how silly it has been to put so much pressure on yourself once you start just allowing yourself to be open to what the different possibilities have for you instead of feeling like you have to pick one. And I have a specific message for those of you that are in school or going to school and your parents or the people around you are like, you need to pick a major, blah, 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 blah. Listen, I changed my major 8 times in college and I still graduated on time. Now, I had to, granted, I did have to take like summer classes and grind my ass off, but like I got my damn degree and I changed my mind a ton of times and I still figured out where I wanted to go. So don't worry if you get it wrong the first time. Like, you cannot honestly expect yourself to know exactly what you want to do at 18, 19, 20, 21. And I mean, truthfully, even when you get a degree in something, people often find themselves falling into something that has nothing to do with their original majors. So like, you really don't need to put so much pressure on yourself. Anyway, you need to start seeing your value and recognize that you do have more freedom than you realize. It's just a matter of your perspective, because no matter what path you choose, you're going to get through it. But I think that by connecting with nature, you're going to get there a lot quicker. Okay. So vibes assessed. Let's see what else Spirit has to say. I know I kind of already channeled a lot of what they wanted to say, but it's kind of hard, like just looking at the energies, because they come through so intensely. But we're going to look at the tarot and kind of just see what Spirit's advice for you is. You know, maybe they have a specific path they want you to look at. Let's just see how you can move forward, how you can change that B to an A+, right? And then we will get some self-care cards, and we'll also get some advice cards that are represented by animals, so that when you are in nature or when you are just looking for signs, you might be able to see what animals are working with you or what signs you need to know. So I would say right away though, because you picked the pink tiger tarot, that this is probably, the tiger is probably one of those animals. And I'm also hearing the eye of the tiger now. So Spirit's really, really into that. And I think that you have to give yourself credit for how fierce you are and how much you can accomplish. But it's like, you're keeping it all in your head. You're doing the world a disservice, not just yourself, but like the world a disservice. Okay, so Spirit, how can pile 1 make their vibes absolutely immaculate? Okay, we have the Hermit. How can pile 1 make their vibes immaculate? Okay. So we have the King of Pentacles, the 2 of Pentacles that was already turned over, and we have the King of Wands. I'm going to clarify all of these. So Spirit, can you clarify? We have the King of Swords. Okay, so we have 3 kings. We have Justice. We have the Star. We have the 2 of Cups. And on the back of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands. Okay, so I think this is interesting because it's not very often that I get like 3 kings in a reading. So I definitely feel like the King of Swords represents you. You could be an air sign or a Virgo with air placements, or air sign with Virgo placement, something like that. But we also have like, we have Aquarius with the Star and Libra with Justice, and we have Aries, Leo, Sag with the King of Wands, and Virgo again, Capricorn, and Taurus with the King of Pentacles. But what I'm really seeing here is that, one, you definitely do need to go within. You do need to kind of get into some hermit energy and figure out how to quiet your mind. One of the things I will suggest is, when you wake up, do not look at your phone the very first thing in the morning. Now, that might be difficult if you use your phone as an alarm. So like, if you use it as an alarm, set it as an alarm and then be done with it, or use your phone to get on YouTube and do a grounding meditation at the very beginning of the day and at the very end of the day. Charlotte from Happy Twins 1111 has a wonderful grounding meditation. It says it's for twin flames, but it doesn't have to be. You don't have to be a twin for it to apply for you. It's literally just like, it's a great way to kind of get your mind in check and be more present, be more focused, and be more relaxed, because you would be surprised how on the ready your brain is to just be like insane and just make you freak out about things that you just don't need to freak out about. So definitely Spirit is saying that a hermit mode for you is going to be essential, and actually taking time for yourself every single day to ground yourself, to protect your energy, and to clear your mind will give you a much better idea of what direction you might actually want to go in. And you don't have to necessarily sit down and like meditate. For example, you could go for a walk in nature. You could journal. There's tons of different grounding techniques, and I would encourage you to Google that and look up the ones that will work for you, because it'll be different for all of you. But with this King of Pentacles here and Justice, there might be a, so I got a couple of different vibes for this. This could be a guardian of some kind. So this could be a parent, a grandparent, a boss, or like a professor, a mentor of some kind. For some of you, I even heard like neighbor. But there's somebody in your life that will be very fair with you and give you good advice. And that's what I feel like they're trying to say here with this Justice card. And so if there's somebody in your life that you trust, who you feel like is really grounded, has a good like head on their shoulders, maybe they are successful themselves, maybe they have experience in what you want to do, I think Spirit is really suggesting that you reach out to them and talk to them, and ask them their advice and what they think, and what they would want you to know. And I also think with this Justice card, Spirit's really saying you'll get out what you put in. So the more grounded you are, this also can represent you, in the sense that the more you focus on actually grounding all those wonderful ideas, or grounding those dreams, or the path that you actually see for yourself, the more stable you're gonna feel. And I also think too, if your idea or what you want to do involves funding, or like needing funds from somebody, I mean, the King of Pentacles, let's be clear, he's got a bag. Spirit might really be saying that if you're prepared to talk to this person, they might be very willing to invest in you and invest in your idea. And they will be fair, like they won't be unfair to you. But I do think that there's a need to maybe be more positive and have more hope. And also, don't be afraid to go outside of the box. When it comes to your ideas, maybe you're the type of person who works better when you multitask. So maybe you want to try do 2 different things at the same time, or maybe you want to like project hop. So like, you know, instead of just focusing on one project until you get it done, go back and forth between 2 with 2 different hobbies. See how you feel with both of them, for example. But there's something more here with Aquarius being here, or the Star being here, excuse me, that's really saying, because I just heard this voice in my head saying, well, other people aren't doing it, so it won't be popular. And so that might be for some of you, but Spirit's really saying it's exactly because other people aren't doing it is why you should be doing it. You know, with that warrior card here, you're definitely meant to be a trailblazer of some kind. And I really think that you need to have a little bit more faith in yourself when it comes to what you can achieve and what you can do if you set your mind to it. I also think there's a need for you to kind of detach from the emotional aspect of what you're creating or where you're going, because like you are putting a lot of pressure on yourself. So this star card is really saying to look at what you create, to look at your path, to look at where you're going outside of yourself, and to not take yourself so seriously. You know, don't be afraid to laugh at yourself and be okay with failing. But what I also see here is that for some of you, you might already have a significant other. They could be a fire sign, they don't have to be. This could also, for some of you, be someone that you are in separation with, or somebody that really inspires you, somebody that you really care about. And I feel like Spirit is also saying, you know, if this is somebody that you can talk to or somebody that you're with, don't be afraid to lean on them for support or ask them for help. I think that they are teeming with good ideas as well. But I almost wonder if for some of you, maybe if this is like a project, for example, there might be somebody who you could collaborate with and create something really beautiful with. Because you have a lot of balanced energy here, besides the Ace of Wands and the Hermit. But I think Spirit is saying to follow your passions, follow your inspirations, and also focus on what truly matters in life. Like, you know, the people that love you and care about you are going to support you no matter what you do. And so if you're worried about what they're going to think, you know, just open up to them and see what they say. What's underneath this? The 10 of Cups. Wow. Okay, yeah. So for some of you, there could be something deeper here. Like maybe by following your true path, maybe you could meet this person who's going to be your 10 of Cups, 2 of Cups. But you really have to focus on what is emotionally fulfilling for you. And also focus on, you know, what you feel passionate about. And it's okay to, you know, redirect, to go back to the drawing board, to try things and decide that they're not for you. I think overall, you just need to stop putting so much pressure on yourself and give yourself time to kind of sort yourself out. Focus on finding balance in your own life and be more positive about what you can do and what you can create. And I think once you start finding your momentum, everything is going to come to you really quickly. But overall, I think Spirit just wants you to have more faith in your ideas and more faith in what you can do. And definitely don't be afraid to open up to the people that really care about you, because not only will they be able to give you their input, but they want you to succeed. If they love you, if they support you, and if they don't, then that's the sign that, man, they might not be in your life for the right reasons. But we're going to go ahead and get you some self-care advice, because I feel like I've been going for such a long time. So we're going to start with self-care, and we're going to finish off with some messages from power animals involved in your life and what they want you to say, or what they want you to know, not what they want, maybe what they want you to say. Okay, Spirit, what self-care can pile 1 utilize to make their vibes absolutely immaculate? I want to take this one. Nourish your temple. So yeah, focus on your body. Focus on healing your energy. Focus on what you're putting into your body. Focus on, you know, for some of you, okay, I know exercise is gross. It sucks. I hate it too. But it does help with like your mental energy. It can really help with that. We also have pleasure. So yeah, don't be afraid to heal your sacral chakra in different ways, if you know what I mean. And don't be afraid to take little breaks and deep breathing. Yeah, you definitely need to do a lot of that. And on the back of the deck, we have use your hands. Yeah, this is all about grounding. And maybe for some of you, maybe trying out new classes, new things to just pique your creativity. You never know where you can find inspiration. And I think you just need to start believing in yourself a little bit more. But definitely focusing on your body, focusing on the physical, what is tangible, and how can you make what's in your head tangible. That needs to be your main focus. But let's see what power animals are by your side helping you succeed and that you can call upon at any time. So Spirit, what power animals are relevant for pile 1, please? Okay, this one is sticking out. Okay, we have the bat. Listen up. You are working through deep soul patterns. Release any outdated beliefs that surface. Yeah. So the bat could be a significant animal, and I would take the sign, like the message that it is, as like a reminder throughout your day, throughout your week, whatever. Not only that Spirit is watching you, but the deeper message behind it. When you find yourself reliving patterns that aren't serving you, getting stuck in your head, for example. We also have Raven, a wise woman. A change is coming. Okay, I just heard Blackbird by the Beatles. Well, you don't have to be a woman, but Spirit is saying that it's time for change. And the Raven is a harbinger of change. And it can also talk about death, but death is all about transformation. So I'm not saying that like there's literal death in your life, but I do think that there needs to be a death of your perception, a death of how you see yourself, so that you can just actualize your true potential, because you deserve that. Let's see. Okay. Finally, we have the Otter. Initiations. Be open through this transitional time. And the Otter also talks about like finding joy in everything. And Spirit really wants you to focus on, instead of projecting your joy into a future that you have in your mind, find ways to feel joy in the moment, to feel small bits of joy. And just be open. This is the biggest thing, is that you just need to be open. And on the back of the deck, oh, look, and look what we have underneath that. Divine timing with the tiger. Good things come to those who wait. I knew the tiger was meant for you. But also field mouse, success, believe in yourself and dare to dream big. Yeah, Spirit is really saying, hey, you got this. You just got to get out of your head. Stop being your own worst enemy. Your ideas, immaculate. Vibes, immaculate. But your beliefs about yourself, not immaculate. So we need to fix that. And, you know, I think you will surprise yourself. You're going to do great things, pile 1, and I can't wait to see what you do. But I am going to leave this reading here. I don't know how long this was. It felt very long. But thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you so much for watching this all the way through. Definitely let me know down in the comments how it resonates. I know this was a different reading, so definitely let me know if this is something you want to see in the future. And also, thank you so much to everybody who watches my ads. You guys have the most immaculate vibes and are the most superior of all my viewers. No offense. And if you have YouTube Premium, don't worry. You support me just by watching. But with that being said, if you have not subscribed and you want to, definitely go ahead and do that and click that little bell notification if you want to be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you left it a like. Let me know that the vibes are good. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this here. Pile 1, man, you guys had me on a rambling tangent today, but I hope it helped. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this, and I hope you will all come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, pile 2. If you guys chose this deep fried meme that says, yeah, I guess you can call me woke. In fact, I haven't slept in days. And the Affirmators Tarot, this is going to be your vibe check. So before we get into it, I have to suss out your vibes. I have to see what the vibes are. So we're going to look at these oracles to do that, and we will use the tarot to see what you need to know afterwards, what Spirit wants you to know, and we'll finish off with advice. But if you find that this is not your vibe, that's why we do it in the beginning, so you don't sit through the whole reading. I would encourage you to check out a different pile, see if your vibes are found there. But if not, I would say, I'm sorry, but I did not pick up on your vibe today. And I will apologize in advance, because I will probably say vibe too much, because I just get used to saying things, and I'm sorry. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what your vibe is and see if you pass the vibe check. Okay. So to start, we have magic in reverse. Make a wish, believe in miracles. Magic surrounds you. We have the vessel. We have reflect and God. We have the angel of balance in reverse and the angel of strength. We have service in reverse, and we have cosmic exploration in reverse. We also have completion and insecurity. Finally, we have healing and we have truth. Pile 2, did you come here knowing you weren't going to pass the vibe check? Because I'm not dragging you, by the way. I'm just trying to be a little lighthearted because the vibes are kind of heavy. And I'm not going to lie, I'm really sad to see these vibes. And don't feel bad about that. It's just that I know what these vibes are. I've been in these vibes. I understand these vibes. And they're not easy. They're not easy at all. For some of you, you might be really struggling right now, just like with your mental health in general and your outlook on life, your ability to feel hope. This feels like a lot of apathy and a lot of just like the world does not have color right now. It seems like you feel really disconnected. I would say if you have any sort of spiritual practice, if you are spiritual at all, you probably are not feeling in tune with that, or you're probably not practicing it, which I do kind of feel like don't be upset with yourself for that if that is the case, because you know sometimes we're not in the place to be like that. This kind of has pretty intense survival mode energy to me. But it also doesn't have to be that intense. For some of you, it could just be that you're stuck in a rut and you're just feeling kind of meh. But because this is a collective reading, I tend to pick up on the most intense energies. And this feels like intense apathy. And a lack of direction, a lack of belief in yourself, a lack of understanding of where to go. This feels just like a lot of lack. And I definitely think for some of you, I am picking up on like some heavier energies, like you may have lost people or like animals that you really cared about recently. You might be really struggling with that. And I just want to be clear, like grief is a difficult process, and you know, you cannot be upset or beat yourself up about that. Grief is an important process and healing. Difficult and tragic things that we go through. But for others, this is just I just heard Groundhog Day. It's like you're repeating the same thing, like same shit, different day. And I feel like you're just empty right now. Like if you had a vessel, it's not full. And I feel like if you did believe in magic, I feel like you believe it's abandoned you. I feel like you believe the universe has turned its back on you. And I don't want to be like, listen, the universe didn't turn its back on you. You turned your back on the universe. Because it's not necessarily that. It's not that you turned your back on it. But you are just you're going through it right now. And this is an important reason of why the vibe check is here. And I would say, you know, of anyone that needs the vibe check, you do. Because first of all, you need to understand that it's okay to not be feeling 100. And in fact, forcing yourself to try to feel good, to try to pretend like you're good when you're not, is really just doing yourself a massive disservice. But I do get this sense like you feel like God, your spirit guides, the universe, or whatever has abandoned you. And that's not the truth. You're just disconnected from it right now. And that could be because of going through really difficult things, going through really difficult energies. Man, I used memes for this reading, and now I'm having one of the most like, and the vibes are intense. That's all I can say. So, pile 2. This is going to be a difficult reading because a lot of the things I'm going to say, you might roll your eyes at, or you might just like scoff at, because it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel right now, and I completely understand it. Because when you're in this energy, cynicism is like your only crutch sometimes. And maybe for some of you, laughing at this situation, or just trying to find the humor in the situation is your way of coping, your way of healing, that's completely valid. I do that, you know. I think humor is a great way to like cope with the things that we are struggling with. And for some of you, this definitely feels like an existential crisis as well. Like you don't know what your purpose is, you don't know why you're here. I feel like for a lot of you, you could be repeating cycles, and you don't understand why. I even heard same shit, different person. So for some of you, like maybe you're going through a breakup, maybe you're dealing with like just really difficult energies in general, where you're like, how am I back here in this spot again? Where you feel like maybe you've changed, or things have changed. But the first thing that you need to know and need to understand is that you have such an abundance of spiritual energy around you. I mean, the fact that both of your energy cards were angels, and then we also had God coming out in the archetype pile, and we have magic. There is so much spiritual energy around you. And in fact, it is ready for you when you're ready to be open to it again. And you do not have to pressure yourself to make yourself get there quicker than you're ready to. There's a really important, Spirit's really stressing to me that you do need to be patient with yourself. But I feel like you might be feeling, well, I don't feel like, I can see that you might be feeling really insecure, or you might be really hard on yourself right now, because it's like your belief in yourself, your belief in that things were changing or that things were getting better might have been shattered. You know, maybe for some of you, you legit have not slept in days, or you're really struggling to just get rest. It's like maybe you sleep, but you don't even want to sleep because you have like nightmares. I mean, this is not an easy energy to be in at all. This feels like dark night of the soul energy, if I'm going to be honest. And for some of you, it may not be that intense, but for others it is. And I think that the first thing that you need to understand is that you are allowed to be in survival mode as long as you need to. There is no time limit. There is no reason to rush this process. And there is no, you should not be hard on yourself about this for any reason. This is a natural part of life, and we all go through this at some point. And you have probably been like, I've gone through it multiple times, and it's like, or you've been like, I haven't seemed to be able to get out of it, and that's okay. I almost feel bad like giving you good advice, because I feel like for some of you, or not good advice, just the good messages, because you might be so turned off by them right now. And that's completely understandable. But there's so much magic within you that you need to explore. And I think that you are so afraid of exploring yourself because partially you might be very afraid of what you'll see, or what you will realize. Like, for example, you know, maybe there are things that you willingly ignored or about yourself, or patterns within yourself that you have been avoiding, or just issues that you haven't really wanted to get help for. And Spirit is really saying you don't have to go through this alone, and you're not alone. But in fact, there's so much magic within you to be explored. And when you're ready, Spirit is ready to be open to you. With this Angel of Strength here, you do have very powerful guides around you, protecting you. And for those of you who did have somebody that you cared about, you lost somebody that you cared about that may have passed on, they are around you. And one, they are sending you so much love. They are always with you, and you have to understand that. But also, you have to understand that they want the best for you. They want you to live your best life, to be your best self, to have immaculate vibes. And in fact, these cycles are not meant to punish you. They're not meant to beat you up, but instead to show you what needs healing. In a certain oracle deck I have, there's this thing called there's a card called the Ever Unfolding Rose, and it says cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. And what Spirit is really saying is that you're getting closer to your truth, whether you feel like it or not. And you might not believe that right now. You might not accept that right now. But one, we have to talk about the fact that rejection is divine protection. And two, everything must come to an end at some point. Nothing lasts forever. And what Spirit is really saying is that these cycles that you're experiencing in your life are not meant to make you feel worse about yourself, are not meant to make you disillusioned towards life. It's understandable that is your response. But what Spirit needs you to understand is that this is not the end for you. This is not and I just want to say right now, like, if you feel like you might hurt yourself or do something where like you don't trust yourself, please get help. Like, please do what you need to do to get help. Not only are you deserving of a good life, of positivity, of happiness, but you deserve to get help, to be loved, to be respected. And there is so much divine energy around you supporting you right now, but you're not able to see it, and that's okay. You are, because you're unbalanced. You know, this Angel of Balance card here is really saying, you know, you're unbalanced right now, to show you what is going to be brought into balance by following your truth. This definitely isn't an easy energy to be in. But the more time passes and the more you have the opportunity to reflect, and the more you start realizing how valuable you are and how much you matter, and seriously, like, do not rely on yourself to heal yourself. Like, whatever type of help you need, do not feel ashamed to get it. Like, there is nothing shameful about seeking help. In fact, that is one of the strongest things you can do for yourself, is admit that you need help, or admit that. And if you don't need that, that's completely fine. But like I said, this is a general reading, and I have to address the strongest energies. You know, if you're just in like a rut, in a meh place, I think that Spirit is really saying that you need to turn inwards. You need to see how you can fill your own cup. But there is encouragement from your guides that clarity and healing are headed your way. But it's not right to beat yourself up over this. And in fact, it might be, what's the right word I want to use? It might be very unrealistic to expect yourself to completely heal yourself all by yourself. You know, some people are capable of that, and that's wonderful. But please do not feel like you're not worthy of getting help, or you're not worthy of seeking help. Because one thing I will say is that because I understand what this energy is like, because I have been in this place, I felt like my problems didn't really matter. I really minimized them and acted like they didn't matter and that I didn't need help. And I still do that, where I'm like, things that I totally need help on, I'm just like, I'm fine, I got it. And I really hold myself back by doing that. And I think one thing that Spirit needs you to understand is that there is support available to you, but you need to be open to it. And it's okay if you're not yet, but to at least consider it and be open to that. You know, tarot is great, but it is not a replacement for therapy. Like, seriously, like counseling, whatever you need, like, please be open to it. Anyway, I do think that after this, for some of you, this is the dark night of the soul. The sky is really going to be the limit in terms of exploring yourself and realizing what you're worth. But I'm honestly, I'm going to go ahead and get into the tarot, because I think the vibes are pretty clear here. And obviously, we are at this vibe checkpoint for a reason. And you should not feel bad about being here. I think truthfully, you probably knew where this was going to go. You probably knew that you weren't going to pass this vibe check, but that's okay. That doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means that we need to tweak some things so that you can have immaculate vibes, so that you can be your best self. And I love that you picked this tarot deck, because truthfully, it's one of my favorite decks. It's super positive, and I think that it will really give us the answers that we need. And I feel like your guides are really eager to communicate with you. So I'm just gonna give it one more shuffle here. Okay, so Spirit, how can pile 2 check their vibe and make their vibe immaculate once more? What can pile 2 do to... Okay. So to start, we have the 9 of Swords. Yeah, there's the anxiety. We have the Fool. We also have the 6 of Pentacles. Let's see what else here. We also have the World. Can you clarify all of these for me, Spirit? Okay, we have the 3 of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the 4 of Cups. Clarify the World for me, please. We have the Queen of Pentacles. And on the back of the deck, we have 3 of Wands. And I just heard the Annie song, Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow. Okay, I want to see what's underneath here. Okay. So, what you guys need to know first and foremost, pile 2, is that there is a lot of fear surrounding your energy field right now. And I think that I'm trying to be really delicate with this, because when you're struggling, it's really hard to like look at things in a positive point of view, and like when people try to give you anything positive, it can honestly like be offensive, and it's honestly like, you know, like, dude, like, fuck off, you know what I mean? And so I don't want you to think I'm coming from a place of like, just smile, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be good, it's gonna be positive vibes. But what you need to understand, and what Spirit wants you to know, is that there's so many people rooting for you. And in fact, your mind is, you know, it's called mental illness for a reason. I'm not saying you're mentally ill or that you are dealing with that, but for some of you, you definitely are. And, you know, when your perception is your reality, and, you know, we perceive things through our dang brain, the reality can seem and feel and be very bleak. But what Spirit needs you to understand is, 1, that there are so many people rooting for you. Your guides are rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. Your friends, your family is rooting for you. And if, you know, those people aren't supportive, there are people in your life who are. For some of you, I'm hearing a very specific message that there might be certain role model figures in your life, like teachers, like guidance counselors, or something like that, that really can help you through this. But you have so much spiritual energy, but I mean, the fact that we have the 3 of Pentacles is all about grounded energy. So it's not just spiritual. It really is. Like, there are people around you that want to see you succeed, that want the best for you, and that want to help you. Now, that doesn't mean you turn your friends into your therapist, but I mean, reaching out for help, saying, hey, you know, I need help with this, or I don't want to be alone tonight, or can we do something fun, or can we watch a fun movie, you know? Really try to focus on the things that do make you happy, and which I'm even backtracking with that. Try to focus on the things that will make you laugh even for a couple minutes, that will remind you what it is like to feel anything positive. Because the answer to a question you've probably been asking, pile 2, is no, you're not going to feel like this forever. And you don't deserve to feel like this forever. You don't deserve to feel bad about yourself. You don't deserve to suffer. Suffering is unfortunately a part of life. And sometimes people get upset when I talk in my readings because I'm like, listen, your suffering has, I don't want to say a purpose, but it has the ability to teach us a lot, and also is what creates grit, what creates our character, what creates tenacity, what creates our strength. And you have a lot of strength and a lot of spiritual energy surrounding you to help you be strong as well, that you can ask for it, because you have tons of angelic energy around you. Specifically, specific archangels that you might want to call upon would be Archangel Michael for protection, Archangel Raphael for heart healing. I'm also hearing Archangel Gabriel to help with like communication with others and being more open about this, because you would be surprised to realize how many people actually do struggle with things like this. And Spirit is really saying, like, there is a fresh start at the end of this cycle. You have the World and the Fool. And I also think, the Queen of Pentacles is a mother energy. And so I think, even if maybe you don't have supportive parental figures or don't have a supportive mother figure in your life, Spirit is asking you, how can you mother yourself? If you could zoom out and take your feelings and put them into a vessel. Oh, yeah, because we did have the vessel. Put them in the vessel of a cute, innocent child, or just a random person. Would you be as hard on them as you are on yourself? Spirit really wants you to look at yourself from an objective perspective and zoom out and realize that it is strong. True strength is admitting when you need help. True strength is admitting when your vibes are not good. True strength is admitting that you need to take care of yourself. Overworking yourself, forcing yourself to bury these feelings, pretending like your feelings aren't valid or that you don't deserve to feel good or feel positive, that is a form of self-betrayal, and that is a form of self-harm. And you deserve to feel good about your life. And in fact, I think there are many people that would be more than willing to help you. And maybe it's a matter of zooming out and looking into what resources are available around you, looking into what, especially, what free resources are there? Are there group sessions you can attend? I do feel like there's a lot about collaboration here and not being afraid to be open about certain things, because your world is expanding. And with this giraffe being here, I'm seeing maybe some of you need to watch some Vine compilations or something. But Spirit is really saying, listen, you're not going to feel like this forever. And I know that feels like it right now, but you're going to find passion. You're going to feel energized once again. And you're going to come out stronger from this. But I had a tangent about suffering that Spirit's wanting me to go back to that I kind of shied away from, because people do get angry when they're talking about, when I talk about, suffering. Your pain has a deeper, holy shit, my right ear is ringing like crazy. Listen, the spiritual community is not just love and light. Like, in order to have love and light, you have to face the dark, the dirty, the gross shit about yourself, the gross shit about the world. Nobody has a linear path, and truthfully, nobody leaves this earth unscathed. We all have problems. We all suffer. Suffering is fucking universal. And some people don't experience that suffering until later. But I'll tell you what, you are not alone. And I think one of the most universal feelings is, well, I hope it's not universal. Like, I remember one time I was like, holy shit, some people like just don't have mental illness. Like, what's that like? Like, what? That's crazy to me. You guys probably get so much done. but to understand that you're not alone in your struggles and that you deserve to parent yourself. You deserve to nurture yourself, to take care of yourself, and that there will be a fresh start for you. And this cycle is closing sooner than you think, but the best thing you can do for yourself is ask for help. Be more open to receiving help. I am just a pair of talking hands on the internet. I cannot specifically sit down and help you, but there are resources available. You just have to be willing to search for them, you know, do some Google searching, you know, try and see what kind of things you might need. Like, for example, you know, therapy can be a difficult thing because you might need certain types of therapy. For some of you, you might want to do like art therapy or music therapy. For others, you might want to like look at like cognitive behavioral therapy. You might want to assess what your needs are first and like what's really going on. But I mean, you can also seek out a professional for that. But I think at the end of the day, what you're here to really understand is that there is a rainbow after this storm, and that you're not going to be like this forever. And the term beauty is pain seems very superficial, but there is beauty in our suffering. And I know that sounds really fucked up, but when you're on the other side of it, you start to see why. Because when you have felt like the shittiest things ever, and you've just felt the world be dark and feel like there's just nothing great, being able to feel happy again, or just feel grateful, or feel like you're not alone, or feel like there is some type of magic in the world, is the most victorious feeling in the fucking world. Like, it is a huge screw you to the mentality in your head, to the way that you, to your old perceptions. It's a huge screw you to like the mean thoughts that tear you down, to the thoughts that tell you that you're not good enough, to the things that make you feel like you're not deserving of living. The fact that you exist, the fact that you have a beating heart, unless you're Edward Cullen, means that you are worthy of life. You exist, you are alive, and therefore you deserve to live your life. You deserve to feel happiness. But there's a wide range of experiences in the human experience, and not all of them are good. And to pretend like everything is just love and light, that's just not the case, and that doesn't exist. But I hope you can understand that things are going to get better. And in fact, I think all you really need to hear is that you are worthy of happiness, you are worthy of contentment, you are worthy of good things, you are worthy of love, you are worthy of compassion, you are worthy to take up space in the world. You are allowed to take up space in the world, and you should. The world would be a much darker place without you, and you may not believe that, but if I had believed what my mental illness told me, my channel wouldn't exist. If I had believed what the mean thoughts told me, I wouldn't be here right now doing this. And so, and I'm not saying like I'm the fucking shit, like meh, kick the shit out of my depression, like I don't mean that, but I mean like we find a lot of purpose through our suffering. We find our truth, we find our healing, and it gives us the drive to not go back to that place. And sometimes we still do. It's not sunshines and rainbows forever. But once you start finding the tools and the tricks that you need in order to get yourself out of that, and you know how to nurture yourself when you're in it, it makes you much more prepared to face the darker days again. Because at least you know, I've gotten out of this before and I can do it again. And I don't have to get out of it right now. I can be patient with myself, but I know for a damn fact that this is just temporary. Everything is just temporary. Fortunately, good and bad times. That's kind of the beauty. And I'm getting off my soapbox now, because we're going to get some advice, because you definitely need to know what kind of self-care is going to be useful for you. And we'll just see what's going on here. So, Spirit, what self-care should pile to prioritize at this time? Make a vision board. Yeah. Give yourself inspiration. Give yourself things to look towards. Maybe, man, if you like existential memes, put memes on your board. Anything that'll make you smile. Anything that's a reason to keep going. That will also really help you manifest as well. Clean your space. Yeah. I also think, you know, maybe if there are things that just maybe have some bad energy attached to them, or the energy like around you could be pretty stagnant, and maybe you don't have the energy to actually like do that yourself. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Like, don't be afraid. I'm sure there are people that would be more than happy to help you out with this. Listen, I'll be the first one to admit I am not good at cleaning anything. My executive functioning skills, never heard of them. But instead of just suffering in mess, I ask for help. I, you know, am willing to be like, hey, I need some help with this. And you'd be shocked. You know, there are people in your life that want to help you. And if you don't have them yet, be open, because they're coming sooner than you think. There are people, and I even feel bad. And honestly, I think that your belief that nobody cares about you, that nobody wants the best for you, is just a perception. At the very least, there has to be at least one person. There is one person. You got me. I'm here in the flesh. And listen, I want you to get better. You're worthy of getting better. You deserve this. Do it in your own time. But understand that you deserve good things. You deserve happiness. And you've got this. You really do. We also have pleasure again. So yeah, I mean, you know, this could be physical pleasure. This could also just be, you know, doing things that are pleasurable, like taking a bath, pleasuring yourself while you're in a pleasurable bath. You know, anything to just get you to feel things again. Because especially like when you're numb to feelings in general, the physical sensations of like touch, ooh, like a weighted blanket, for example. I sleep with a weighted blanket all the time. That helps me like so much. Look into getting like a weighted blanket. Look into things that will like make you feel more comfortable and will make you feel more, you know, more pleasurable. Like anything that would make you happy. Like, buy it, get it, go for it, thrift it, spin it, bop it, pull it. Sync with the moon and spend time with animals. Well, it's funny this card comes out because, one, at the very least, there are animals rooting you on. I'll be damned if I've ever seen a dog that wasn't just beaming with wonderful energy. And in fact, if you have any friends with animals, ask if you can come over and hang out with them. You know, my best friend has a golden retriever. Shout out to Tetters, my nephew. And he brightens my day all the time. Like, I could be having the worst day. I mean, you can't frown when there's a freaking golden retriever around. Like, they are just little balls of golden sunshine. Like, don't be afraid to reach out to people, even if it's just to like see their pets. Maybe don't admit that, but like, you know, just be like, can I hang out like with you and your dog? And we also have positive affirmations. You know, positive affirmations don't always help, but like, have you ever heard of fake it till you make it? Can't hurt. It can't hurt to say nice things to yourself. Words do have power, and saying mean things to yourself isn't helpful. But with this sync with the moon here, I think there's something about, maybe for some of you, you might have like Cancer placements. Cancer's ruled by the moon, or you could just be sensitive to the energy of the moon. Pay attention to the cycles that the moon is in. Like, for example, full moons, you might be like feeling not so great. New moons, you might feel more hopeful. Or like what sign the moon is in. So like right now the moon is in Pisces. So pay attention to see if you feel like you're in Piscean energy. Pay attention to that, because it might help you take advantage of when you are feeling motivated and when you might need to take a rest, take a break. But speaking of animals, you have some power animals. One of them is a lion, because we saw that in the Angel of Strength. We could have some Leos here. But you have power animals around you. Speaking of spending time with animals, you can meet them in meditation, or you can just see them in your everyday life. But I definitely think these animals will give you some good advice, and these are the animals that you need to be aware of that are around you. So first of all, we have starfish, intuition. Listen to your soul's truth. Think less, feel more. I think this is really key for you to feel, because if you can't feel anything right now, to focus on anything you can feel, like touching a soft blanket or petting a dog or something like that. Even that is like at least you're feeling something. You're being present in some way. We have hair, strength. Take time to make clear decisions, bring awareness and light to the situation. Yeah, I think that there is a need to maybe face some of those things. We also have butterfly emerging. Take the leap of faith. Look at that. We also have dog, divine service. How can you serve yourself better? And on the back of the deck, we have the horse and the fox underneath that. Shadow work. There are no shadows without light. Exactly what I was saying. You know, dark night of soul. You gotta get there, but you'll get through it. And with the horse, free spirit, give yourself the space and freedom to express your creativity. And I'll tell you what, equine therapy, great. I would definitely recommend that shit. Like, horses are just big dogs when you think about it. And, you know, people judge horse girls, but horses are awesome. And you don't necessarily have to ride them, but just, like, even being around them. And they all have different personalities and energy. And equine therapy could be helpful. But, yeah, we have, how can you serve yourself? And with this butterfly, you're just in your cocoon right now. But, man, you're going to blossom and you're going to spread your wings because you're so strong. And you'll be back in touch with yourself again. I promise, pile 2. And it's okay to not be okay. But recognize that you won't be like this forever. And in fact, you deserve to feel better than you do now. Whew. Okay, so pile 2, I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you guys so much for watching this all the way through. This probably wasn't the easiest reading to get through. But it definitely seemed very necessary. So I appreciate you sticking through me. Thank you so much to everybody who watches my ads. You automatically have more immaculate vibes. If you have YouTube Premium, your vibes are just premium. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you left a like. And if you haven't already and would like to, I would love it if you subscribed. You know, definitely comment down below. Give some support to other pile 2s, you know. Cheer each other on. That's another physical way you guys can cheer each other on, to really know you're not alone. And that's the beauty of general readings, is that energy is timeless and energy transcends the physical, what separates us. Energy has unity, and these are universal experiences. So believe in yourself. You've got this. You are so worthy of wonderful, beautiful things, and please don't be afraid to get help. But thank you for being here, pile 2. I am wishing you all the best. I'm sending you all my support. You've got this. I believe in you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, pile 3. If you guys chose the Guru meme that says, oh, so you're good at math, what is your social security number? And the Whispering Spirits Tarot, this is going to be your reading. And we are asking, do you pass the vibe check? Now, I'm going to use the tarot to see how you can make your vibes immaculate, but first I have to assess the vibes. So this is your opportunity to see if the reading is for you. If these are not your vibes, you may want to check a different pile. And then if you find that your vibes are not in any piles, then sorry, I didn't pick up on your vibes. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying vibes. Anyway, okay, so we're gonna look at the oracles first and just see what's going on, pick up on your energy. And of course, as usual, if you've seen any of my readings before, I never give straightforward answers. So me saying, do you pass the vibe check is like, it's not my vibe to say yes or no. So we're just going to assess it. Okay, so to start, we have the Mirror and Expansion. Spread your wings and soar. Share your message and shine your light. Show the world what you're made of. We have Patience and Action. We have Defeat and Childhood. We have the Hermit. We also have Soul Work. We have Victim and Vanity. finally, we have predictions of growth in reverse and the messenger. Okay. Speaking of messenger, if you want to message me your social security number, feel free. Just kidding. Anyway, pile 3. Okay. So I will say, in terms of your soul passes the vibe check, but your perception of yourself and where you're at and like what you're doing does not. And of course, we're going to go into why, but there is split groups here. And you might find that maybe you fall into both, but I have to address both because a lot of this is related to who you were as a child and also how you see yourself now. So for some of you, you could have been bullied growing up, or you might have dealt with some mean girls. I'll see my way out. You could have, or on the opposite end of the spectrum, you could have been the mean girl. Well, you didn't have to be a girl at all. But I feel like for a lot of you, the strongest vibe that I'm getting is that for a lot of you, you were probably mistreated growing up by the people around you. And you've either had some type of glow up, or you're ready to have a glow up, or you're ready to like burst out of your shell. And I think you're very afraid of that, or you still suffer with feelings like you're not good enough or that you can't succeed. For others, I am picking up this vibe like your mentality, and I could be wrong about this. This is a general reading, so this will only apply to some of you. But your mentality may be very high school. Like maybe you're experiencing being the cool person that you weren't in high school. No shade, I wasn't cool in high school either. Or for others, maybe you could be struggling to look outside of surface level things. The biggest vibe that I'm getting that is a bit, the biggest vibe that I'm getting that's not passing the vibe check is that there's a disconnect between your actions and your intentions behind them, and also the deeper purpose it has. I feel like for some of you, maybe you were like the Gretchen Wieners and you were underneath a Regina George or something like that. You know, a queen bee, so to speak, and maybe you really struggle with that. But the biggest thing being highlighted here is this mirror card. Pretty sure I already said the biggest thing. You might be a little distracted as well. But the mirror talks about how a mirror is kind of an illusion, and it's just a perception. You know, there's a difference between the quality of mirror that you're like between like a $300 mirror and like a $20 mirror, you know those skinny mirrors, and then there are those mirrors that like just make you look weird. There's funny mirrors, and none of them are a true portrayal of who you are. But if you're focused on the external, that's your first problem. Because for some of you, you definitely are aware that you're not this person that you once were. But there definitely could be trauma linked to bullying in your childhood, or you could just still struggle with the belief that you have to do certain things for people's approval, or you might find that you act in certain ways for people's approval, for external gratification. But I think there's a disconnect with what satisfies your ego and what satisfies your soul. And for some of you, I think maybe you've gotten too far in your head. And I don't want to say like you're victimizing yourself, because that's kind of it's kind of an aggressive accusation to throw out there. But you might, your perception is a bit of an illusion. And I think it's because you don't have yourself figured out yet. There's a lot in your heart space that's ready to be looked at. But I think maybe there's fear in going beyond what is expected of you, or going beyond the norm, or even just putting yourself out there. Like maybe you put yourself out there when you were younger and people did not react very kindly to it. If you're unaware of this, I'll tell you now, kids are assholes, like just straight up. Like kids are assholes. They're cute, but like they're assholes, and they're ignorant. They don't know anything. You know, humans are like animals first and foremost, and they just have weird tribal instincts, and they yell at things that are different. They don't appreciate things that are different. And I think that Spirit is really asking you to reassess what truly matters to you. For some of you, maybe you're already aware of this and you're starting to try to dig deeper in your soul. But for others, you might be acting in ways that feel good in the moment, but do not, sorry, I popped my thumb, do not bring you any long-term gratification. It's like you're constantly seeking. It's literally like you're almost outrunning your shadow aspects every time they seem to be creeping up on you. And what Spirit needs you to understand is that there's so much more for you than this tiny box you've placed yourself in. And for others, I also feel like for some of you, like you might need to hear that maybe you're focusing on things that are a bit too superficial, and that as long as you focus on these superficial things, you're not going to feel satisfied, because it's not reaching the deepest parts of yourself. But this shadow attribute of the Hermit says withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgments of others, refusing to help those in need. And I don't think you're necessarily refusing to help people in need, but I do think that you are refusing to help yourself, because you might view yourself as not worthy of help, or you might view yourself as too confusing, or it's too much effort to figure yourself out. There is an element of being defeated here. And I definitely think that you have this perception of being very afraid of what other people will think. Approval might be very important to you. And for some of you out there, it might be really scary to go against the grain or do what feels right to you in your soul, because you might live in a society where culturally, like, you... Like, what I was thinking of is, like, there's kind of this dichotomy between, like, Eastern and Western culture, where Eastern is, like, much more community-oriented, I think. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like, you know, the community's perception of, like, you and your family holds a lot of weight, and it's something that can be very stressful and make it difficult to not conform. Whereas in, like, Western societies, it is more often than not celebrated to not conform. And that's not in, like, every single instance. Of course, like, there are ways in which we all feel like we have to conform. But your vibes are off because you're either not doing the work to figure out what your soul actually wants, or you might be too impatient to actually figure it out. And also, there's a need to look at your intentions behind your actions. Why are you doing what you're doing? Is it to feel the gratification that you didn't get as a child? Is it doing what is most comfortable to you? Is it because you don't feel comfortable unless other people approve of what you're doing? I feel like Spirit is asking you to stop judging yourself so harshly and to stop feeling like you have to fit into something. This Hermit card really speaks to me because, like, he's in this tiny ass house, and I feel like this is your soul, and it's like trying to speak to you, and it's getting more and more intense because it's trying to get you to notice it. You know, like Regina George, it wants you to notice it. It wants attention, okay? And listen, there's always going to be mean girls. I hate to admit it, but like there's mean girls in every circle. You can't avoid them. They just exist, and that's how it is. But, you know, hurt people hurt people. And if people are mean to you, that is so much more of a reflection on them than it is you. And like people hating on you won't make them any more successful. So just remember that as well. But I feel like you think that you're not capable of growing or being more. And that's where you need to stop. And if you've ever seen Harry Potter, think about think about Neville Longbottom and the Sorcerer's Stone and Neville Longbottom and the Deathly Hallows. They are two different people, but Neville Longbottom was always a Gryffindor. He did not understand why. But like, think about his growth. Think about how much potential he had and like how he lived up to his potential. And like, man, Neville Longbottom is a badass, okay? And you are too. And I think that you just have to find what your soul is calling you to do and be willing to go after it. Now, the thing is that you might be feeling, you might not know what that is yet. And that might take some time. It might take quite a while, but Spirit's actually begging you to be patient and be more open to what your soul is trying to tell you, because it will help you start to correct these actions that are not fulfilling. Because for some of you, I feel like you have dreams that are not your actual dreams, or you find yourself acting in ways that are not actually fulfilling you because you want the short-term ego fulfillment, or you want the approval of others, maybe both. And this is really holding you back, because what your soul wants is for it to be acknowledged. And I think that your soul's purpose is to be creative, and that doesn't mean you have to monetize your creations, but everybody deserves to be creative. And I think for you, the best mirror that you have is through your words, through journaling. It's almost like that way you're able to, I feel like you might be able to really see what your soul's trying to tell you through your pen, or through your feather, if you will. And I feel like it's the key to unlocking a lot of things about you. Journal prompts could be really good. But I think just writing and writing how you feel about things, writing when you're upset, writing when you're happy. Soul work is a process of exploration, and it doesn't happen instantly. But you might be prolonging your ability to discover who you truly are and how you're meant to grow, because you're too busy focusing on the wrong things, on the things that are not bringing you fulfillment. You might just be more concerned about conformity than what makes you truly happy. And now, it is not easy to bust out of that. You know, it's not just simple, but it is a process. And you know, like Jordan Sparks, you got to take it one step at a time. There's no need to rush. It's like learning to fly or falling in love. Anyway, you have to look beyond. And for some of you, there's a very important message of you need to stop believing that because you don't look a certain way, or because you don't have a certain amount of money, or you don't have a certain amount of equipment, that you can't do what you want to do. You need to see beyond the superficial. And like, everybody has to start somewhere. But I also think there's a need here with this mirror as well to stop being so hard on yourself for what you see in it, because it is just all an illusion. You know, there's all different types of mirrors, and you actually have like, you have an advantage. Like, if you just like don't, I don't know, I kind of lost my train of thought there, but I think there's really a need to reassess what actually matters to you and what you find fulfilling, and ask yourself, do you like who you are? Not do you like what's in the mirror, because you might like what's in the mirror but hate who you are. I can think of a lot of people who have that vibe going on. Or maybe they pretend to like what they see in the mirror, but you know, they don't feel good on the inside. Like, it's a real thing. And typically, that's why mean girls are mean girls, because they don't feel good. And it makes them feel good to bring people down to their level, or you know, make others feel like trash. It makes them feel like they have power. And bullying always comes from a place of insecurity. And if you're an adult now, you have to understand, like, for some of you, you might be in high school or something like that, and it's really hard to understand when you are in high school that there's life outside of high school, but I promise it gets so much better. It gets way better. And like, Bowling for Soup had a point when they said high school never ends, but, because that is true, but you don't have to conform to that. Like, there's nothing saying you have to. And like, the truth of the matter is, there are some people that just mentally and emotionally never leave high school. But that doesn't have to be you, and that doesn't have to define you. And the sooner you realize that by living in a way that you're just seeking external gratification, sooner, like, the more you're just gonna realize how unfulfilling it is. Like, it really is. And you gotta figure out what your soul truth is. SOUL. And for a lot of you, you might find that you are the soul, SOLE, person with that truth, and that's okay. And people don't have to agree with you, but it's your life, and you have to live it in your way. And I also think that you need to understand that success, one, is a subjective definition, and two, you don't have to have everything figured out right now, but it is good to start exploring. It's time to start looking beyond the superficial and what other people think. Like, yes, it is good to take care of yourself and to like be healthy and you know, feel good about yourself. You deserve to. But if you're judging yourself based on that, and like that's really all you care about, like, for example, if you're just caring about like likes on Instagram or something, like, you're really holding yourself back, man. Like, there's just, Instagram is not real life. Instagram is not real. It is not real. And at the end of the day, like, Facetune is not going to fill your soul. In fact, I have a strict moral code against using Facetune because I think it's, I don't know. I get that everybody does it. It's a societally acceptable thing. And like, we all use like filters and shit because you know, we have to look at ourselves. But like, all I'm saying is that you are so much more than your perception of yourself. And others' perceptions of you are so worthless and unimportant because you're the only person that knows yourself better than anyone. And you're the only person that knows what you've gone through and knows what it's taken you to get here. And Spirit's saying you're ready to shine. You are ready to illuminate what's going on in your soul and follow that. Because that is what's going to bring you the most fulfillment, and that's actually what's going to be the most healing thing for you. And you'll realize as you follow this more and more, one, you'll be a hell of a lot more confident in yourself. Two, you will not only look at your actions differently, but you will look at the people around you differently, and you will realize how unimportant their perceptions are anyway. Like, I could be insecure and think, oh, it's weird to be a tarot reader. People think I'm a devil worshiper. And it's like, those people are wrong, and they are clearly uneducated about this topic. Like, that's not my problem. Like, if they want to believe that, fine. But that, I know who I am. I know that I'm not worshiping the devil. And like, that's just silly. Like, you know, there's just things that are just silly. And like, people have their perceptions of you, but that doesn't mean they're right. And like, only you can truly define yourself. And you gotta stop caring what other people reflect back at you, because if you know your truth, if you follow your truth, man, you will feel like $1 million no matter what. But we're actually going to get into the tarot now because that's the vibes that I'm getting. And I've kind of been struggling to just look at the vibes without channeling. advice, because Spirit's just really coming through. But here's the thing. Your authentic vibes are immaculate. Immaculate. The only thing that's not immaculate is your belief that, one, you don't deserve to explore this, or that you're not going to be any more than you already are. And two, your limited perceptions about yourself. That's not immaculate. You know? If you want to steal the moon, go for it. You know? Well, actually, don't steal the moon. I like her. You know, I enjoy seeing her. The moon has a lot of supporters. But, like, I was just making a Despicable Me reference. Anyway, let's see what advice Spirit has for you. So, Spirit, how can pile 3 make their vibes immaculate? Do you have any clues to what their soul might be telling them, or where they might need to start when it comes to exploring their inner depths? Okay, let's start with what we have out here. Okay, we have the 5 of Coins. We have the 3 of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Pentacles. All right, a lot of earth energy. We have Judgment in reverse. Okay, we get clear. Okay, that's too many. You're wiling. This one wants to come out. Okay, we have the Hierophant. Taurus energy here. We have the 3 of Wands. So we have 2 3s. Can you clarify the Ace of Pentacles for me, please? The 9 of Wands. Clarify Judgment in reverse for me, please, Spirit. We have the 5 of Cups. And on the back of the deck, we have the 7 of Cups. Okay, yeah. So you're definitely a little bit confused. You're not sure where you want to go. And I definitely think you're feeling a little bummed out, down and out. But this Judgment in reverse card is definitely indicating to me that you don't know your true purpose yet, or there's some soul's truth that you haven't discovered yet. And it will come. But here's what you need to focus on in the meantime. You do seem to be in this energy of lack. And I don't mean that from a necessarily financial perspective. I just mean that from a perspective of you may be looking at the glass half empty. And I think that what Spirit is saying is the reason why you might feel bleh, and the reason why you're not finding inner fulfillment, you're not getting what you want out of life, nothing is feeling right, is because you're not looking at the deeper spiritual purpose behind your actions and what your soul actually wants to do. But in addition to that, you know, the Hierophant talks a lot about tradition, and the traditional path just may not be for you. And so if you know, what's that Albert Einstein quote? If you judge a fish's ability to climb a tree, it'll live its whole life believing it's stupid. You know, you might be trying to force yourself into a box that you're not supposed to be in. And there's something also here about coworkers. Maybe you guys have like mean coworkers. One thing that I found to be true in my experience of working is that toxic workplace cultures are such a thing, and they're kind of a beast, because when you come into a new place, you're kind of thrust into a dynamic and you have no idea what you're getting into. And if you've been looking for a sign to like find a new job, switch your job, I feel like this is your sign to go ahead and start exploring that, because it does seem like a new opportunity will come through. But don't give up. Because I also think that you might be able to create an opportunity for yourself. But I think you have to do some self-exploration first. And I also think that maybe collaborating with people that already have an interest in what you're doing, or have an interest in what you're interested in, like maybe you might want to shadow somebody, or take some classes on things that might interest you. There could be good coworkers around you that could help you with this, but I do think that there's a need to not let just an icky workplace culture, or, you know, the pessimistic people around you get you down. Because I really do feel like there's a lot of expansion for you. And I think that for your soul to grow, you kind of have to go outside of the repetitive actions that you've been doing. Like maybe for some of you, save up some money and then like go backpacking somewhere or something, like travel for a while, you know, do something different. I feel like you need to change up how you're doing things, because it's like, what's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And clearly, I don't think you're very happy with the results. In fact, it's like, even the things that are going well, you can't focus on them because you might be too focused on what's going wrong. But what Spirit's really saying with this Knight of Wands is that if you follow your passion, you will be a lot less confused. But you might have to figure out what your passion is first. And that's okay. But one thing that I will tell you is that with this Judgment card being in reverse, there is definitely a message here that you may not know what you're truly meant to do yet. But once it comes your way, you can't miss it. Like, it'll slap you in the face. Not literally, but hopefully not. But it'll be so obvious that like you can't deny it or ignore it. It'll just feel so right that you can't deny it or ignore it. And you'll be a lot less confused. Like the reason why you're confused right now, why you're like, what? Is because this is not what's fulfilling to your soul. And so long as you continue doing this pattern of, or continuing this pattern of doing the same thing, you're not going to discover something new here. And especially if you've been stuck in a cycle for a while, it may be time to try something new, or think about think about how you can maybe shift your path a little bit. But Spirit is saying that there are opportunities out there, but don't give up hope. If you don't take any action to change this or do anything, it's not going to change. You have to be willing to break out of the cycles and habits that you've created in order to find what's truly fulfilling for you. But you'll get there. Don't worry. I mean, with this Nine of Wands, like, it's coming. Like, it's coming. But the first thing you have to do is believe that you'll figure it out. Not to plug myself, but I do have a reading on, like, your soul's purpose or your life purpose. That might be helpful. If you haven't seen that, you may want to check it out. It might be helpful for you. If not, that's okay as well. But I do think the best thing you can do for yourself is just explore, travel, get on, like, freaking Skillshare or something. Like, even if you don't want to take a class, like, I'm on Skillshare. It's awesome. Like, you can literally just get classes on, like, freaking anything. And, like, there's a million YouTubers with, like, discount codes and shit for that. Like, just fish around. And there's even just free classes, like, on YouTube. There's the internet. There's so many opportunities and possibilities with the internet. But instead of trying to fish from a dried up pond, go to the ocean, man. It's time to switch it up. Because what you're doing is not working. And Spirit is clearly saying, I mean, this is the Three of Wands personified. Like, it's time to expand. It's time to start becoming who you're truly meant to be. And you're not going to do that by, for some of you, just partying the pain away. For others, suppressing it and pretending like it doesn't exist. It's going to be different for all of you. But, yeah. Your vibes are amazing, but I just feel like you don't know what your vibes are yet. And I can't tell you what your vibes are because they're different for everyone. But, like, when your vibes match your purpose, they are truly immaculate. And I think that Spirit wants you to really start practicing gratitude for the awareness that you do have about yourself. But there's a big thing about journaling here. Like, start writing. And maybe for some of you, your purpose has something to do with writing. But I really, really think that instead of looking at your physical reflection, start using journaling or writing as a way to reflect what your soul is trying to tell you. You might want to practice, like, channeled writing. So, like, give yourself a time frame of, like, 3 minutes. and just write down everything that comes to your mind. Don't think, just write and just go. And then when you're done, read over it, see what you see. And don't be afraid to explore different journaling prompts. Like, I feel like there's a lot of listen, you're like an onion, you know? As the wise sage Shrek says, onions have layers. And you have to start peeling back your layers. It might be painful, it might be uncomfortable, but it's very healing. And the more you understand yourself, the more you understand what you want out of life, and the sooner you can go after that direction and go for what you want. And you deserve that, man. This confusion is not forever, but the reason you are confused is because you are stuck in patterns that are no longer serving you. They have, you know, served their purpose. Oh, I think it's time to, and as I cut the deck for self-care, we have plan a vacation. Yeah, it's time to get some fresh energy in your life, get something new going on. Even if it's just like switching up your routine a little bit. Like, you know, you might like your job, you might not want to leave that, but maybe like your life outside of it is unfulfilling. You know what I mean? But Spirit, what self-care can pile 3 do to help make their vibes absolutely immaculate? Connect with your womb. Okay, well, connecting with feminine energy could be good. If you have testes, connect with them instead. I don't know what that entails. Please don't tell me. But I think that there's a need to get in touch with your energy just in general and connect with like the natural parts of yourself. And honestly, if you do have a lot of masculine energy, you may need to want to embrace more feminine energy and just kind of see like I don't know, like I feel like there's a lot of ego around doing things that make you feel soft sometimes, and that might be what's most beneficial for you. But Spirit, what else? What else can pile 3? I almost said 2. 3 do for self-care. Okay. We also have spend time with animals. That is a wonderful way to just find joy. Maybe your purpose has something to do with animals. But for others, you know, nothing like a good dog just to, or just any animal in general. I feel like they're really awesome. And actually, after this, we're gonna look at power animals that have messages for you, that are signs that you're in the right direction and just like what you need to know. But we also have alone time. Yeah, so maybe you do need to kind of step back from your current social circle. Maybe your social circle is a little difficult or just superficial. Maybe it's time to just, or maybe your social circle is awesome and you just need some time away to think for yourself. That can help as well too. But let's see, what else, Spirit? What else? We have be still. So yeah, maybe we did have that action card, you know, instead of acting, mindfulness, like practicing mindfulness, practicing what you need to know. But it's like with that movement card, you know, maybe move differently. Hearing like, move your body right next to mine. Feel the beat and we're lost in time. I don't know why I'm doing that, but kind of contradictory messages, but I think it's moving differently than you have been moving, you know? Maybe it's trying out a different exercise class, trying out something new. But also like yoga, and then look, she's Shavasana-ing out right now. It might do you some good to do that. But we're gonna get some power animals now and just kind of see what animals Spirit is going to use to communicate with you, what messages they have for you, and just kind of what you need to know, so you can be more in tune with what the universe is trying to say. Ooh, dolphin, Atlantis, healing wisdom is surfacing. Stop and listen. Maybe for some of you, you might want to take a trip to Atlantis. But yeah, like dolphins are fun. I mean, they're kind of aggressive too, but like they're fun still. And dolphins have a really playful, fun energy, and maybe that's kind of what you need to be in. We also have the Hare, strength. Take time to make clear decisions. Bring awareness and light to the situation. Yeah, I think for you, your decisions just aren't very clear. You know, with that Seven of Cups, it's like you'd rather just... You're kind of on autopilot right now, and I think Spirit is asking you to kind of pump the brakes and start looking at yourself so you can really be who you want to be, Barbie girl. But I meant, oh, I got sidetracked, but I meant be who you're meant to be. We also have the Golden Unicorn. Okay. Ascension, awaken to your soul's potential. This is iconic, and this is your vibes. These are the immaculate vibes that I was talking about. You have a golden unicorn soul, and you have a special purpose, but you have to awaken to it. And like with this Judgment card, Spirit is clearly saying you haven't awakened to it yet, but that doesn't mean you won't. But if you continue doing, if you continue doing the same thing, if you continue to do the same thing over and over and over, you are not going to find the unicorn. We also have Frog, stepping into your power. Don't take a back seat in your story. It's time to step up. Or step up to fight to the finish. At least I think that's step up too. Anyway, yeah, you need to step into your power. You need to start, instead of feeling like you're just going to be a little worthless toad, you got to start thinking of yourself as a badass frog. I don't even know the difference between frogs and toads. But like, no worthless toad energy. Your vibes are badass frog energies with golden unicorn energy with it. And finally, on the back of the deck, we have the Panda. Ask how to bring balance to the situation and in your heart. Yeah. So I think you just need to be more open to what the universe is trying to communicate with you, and be open to new things and trying different things, you know? It took Gru adopting 3 children to change what he was doing, and he found a lot more fulfillment in that. I mean, truthfully, he wasn't a very good villain. Was he still a villain? I'm sorry, I'm not that literate when it comes to Despicable Me lore. I was trying to think of the word. But yeah, you deserve to figure yourself out. There's so much untapped potential just waiting to be explored. And the sooner you go after it, the sooner you can live a more fulfilling life and find your truest purpose. But I have complete faith that you'll get there no matter what. You'll do just fine, Pile 3. You're awesome. The only reason your vibes are not immaculate right now is because you're not being your truest self. And once you start embodying that, whew, you're going to have just... You're going to be a light. You're going to be so radiant. And you're just going to be, quite frankly, shooketh at how amazing you are. So, Pile 3, I think I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way through. And thank you so much to everybody who watches my ads. Your vibes are the most immaculate. And if you have YouTube Premium, you support me just by watching me. So, your vibes are premium, you know, in the name. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you left a like. If you have not subscribed already and you would like to, I would love it if you would. Definitely comment down below. Let me know how it resonates. Give some support to other Pile 3s who might be struggling. Thank you so much for letting me read your cards. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 4. If you guys chose the Synesthesia Tarot and this Doge meme that says, "Hey simp, you dropped this," and it says self-respect, this is going to be your reading. So we'll use the tarot to see how we can make your vibes immaculate. But before we do that, we have to do the vibe check. So do you pass the vibe check? If you've watched my channel before, you'll know that I never give a simple yes or no answer. There's more to it, but we're going to see here what the vibes I'm picking up on are. If they match your energy, resonate with you, then congrats, you found your pile. If they don't, you may want to try another one. If you can't find your energy here, unfortunately, bro, I probably just didn't pick up on your vibes. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's get into it. So to start, for you guys, we have a possibility, raise your standards, elevate your expectations. You have unlimited potential. We have the prayer. We have dare to dream. Hearing a dream is a wish your heart makes. Hello, Cinderella. We have Samaritan. Hostilities. Man holding a coin in reverse. Have the Heart Eater in reverse. You have hiding in reverse. Abundance. We have bittersweet. We also have move on and love. Okay. So let me say, pile 4, do you pass the vibe check? Yeah, you pass the vibe check, but you wouldn't realize that you passed the vibe check because you're so unaware of your vibes and how amazing they are. Here's what I'm actually seeing here. You have the opposite of main character syndrome. You have like NPC syndrome, non-playable character syndrome, extra background character syndrome. You really don't see your value. And for some of you, you might have gone through something difficult recently, like maybe you went through like a friend breakup, a literal breakup, maybe something happened that just kind of stunted your confidence, or maybe you just haven't had a lot of confidence in yourself. But listen, you are so much more powerful than you actually see yourself as. And your vibes are like intense, bro. I think you're just really afraid of facing them. But you're probably feeling a lot of like internal turmoil because your vibes are trying to tell you that you need to dream bigger and you need to start seeing yourself as more valuable. I think one of the hardest things about this perception for you guys is that it's almost like you've had to lose things. Oh, I'm hearing the Selena Gomez song, Lose You to Love Me. So for some of you, this could definitely be like moving on from somebody who maybe hurt you or you were just in like a rough situation with. But listen, you are so much more valuable than you give yourself credit for. And you are worth so much more. Like, way more. The eagle could be a significant animal for you. I mean, listen, that's the animal of America. And listen, you know, I'm not saying America is amazing, but they are like the Regina George of, it is like the Regina George of countries. So, I mean, you may hate her, but America wore cargo pants and then everyone else wore cargo pants. I'm really doing a lot of Mean Girls references today. I don't know why. Anyway, I feel like you know your worth. Like, deep down, you know your worth. And you have really big dreams. But I think you are afraid of experiencing rejection or failure. Which, first of all, you got to know that failure, one, is an opportunity to learn and one of the greatest ways to learn. But two, I think you are just afraid of being risky, in the sense that if you actually acknowledge your dreams and actually go towards them, then you might have to face the reality of falling short of your expectations or realizing that you can't do it. But I'm going to stop you right there, because have you ever just like thought for a hot second that maybe you can do it and that maybe it might be difficult, but you have more than enough strength and abilities and the vibes. I'm okay. I need better synonyms, but do you ever think that maybe these big dreams that you have in your head might be more than just dreams, that they might be planted in your head because you're supposed to make them a reality, or at the very least strive for them. Because I think for far too long, some of you listened to people that truthfully had low self-esteem and tried to bring you down to their level. If you don't know what leveling is, it's this concept of where instead of people trying to match your energy or reach your level, they will try to bring you down to theirs because that's easier. And it's true, it is easier. But I definitely think this meme is very fitting because I think you're starting to have more respect for yourself. But you're like still afraid to actually go for it. You know what I mean? Or even be open to what following your dreams might look like. You're probably really afraid of the how. Like, how am I going to do this? But that's like an ego perception where you may want to like step back and say, surrender the how, just take the first step. This prayer card talks all about how praying to a higher power, to divinity, or at the very least just saying prayers, is a very humbling thing, because not only are you speaking to the universe what you want, you know, saying it out loud, but also, you know, this is also the same thing with manifesting. You can manifest all you want, but if you don't take the action required, the universe can't help you. If you've heard the term co-creating with the universe, that is the concept of if you do your half, they will do theirs. So for example, if you have a dream of being a famous artist, but you've never like taken an art class in your life, the Met Gala, that's okay, you have a dream of being the next Anna Wintour and hosting your own Met Gala. Let's go with that since I said that. If you don't know how to sew, Anna Wintour is not going to knock on your door and be like, hello, I would like you to be the next me, even though you don't know how to sew. Like, you gotta be able to work with the universe a little bit. Like it's called co-creating for a reason. They cannot help you in the physical. Well, they can help you in the physical, but you also have to be able to help yourself. You know what I mean? And so what we're seeing here is the can I or can't I? And here's the thing. Whether you can or you can't, you're probably right. So you might as well shift your perspective to that you can. Because at least if you start going after it, you're going to have much more awareness of like what you can do. But I also think there's more to this. It's not just about dreams. I also think that there's dreams maybe relating to relationships. Maybe you believed yourself not worthy of kind and loving relationships, or a good person that's actually going to respect you and take care of you. But that's just not true. And in fact, I feel like you're really done hiding yourself or dimming yourself to fit in. Like, you're ready to stand out. And with this abundance card, this really talks about two people's perceptions on the world. So this guy loses his cash in this grate, and so he drinks himself into a pity and is all sad about it. But then this badass little resourceful girl sees this money in the drain, and she comes up with this like string trick to get it out of the drain. And so you can have this woe is me attitude and say, oh, I'll never amount to anything, because that's easier than actually trying to go for it, right? Or you can be this resourceful little girl and go for it. Because have you ever heard the term no risk, no reward? But the core of you actually succeeding, the core of you elevating your expectations, realizing that you have unlimited potential, is rooted in self-love. And understanding that by loving yourself, sometimes you have to let go of beliefs, ideas, people, environments that no longer serve your growth, that do not align with who you are trying to be. Because the universe does not listen to desires. The universe responds to what your energy is putting out. It literally is vibe checking you every day, and it is giving you what you put out. Because the universe is pretty neutral. It just matches your energy. And that's kind of the bittersweet part of it. Maybe this is a truth that you're recognizing, but with this man holding a coin in reverse, it doesn't matter what gender you are. I really just see this as you needing to realize how valuable you are and how important your perspective is, and how your dreams are just as important as anyone else's. Just because they're yours doesn't make them invalid. That makes them more important because they're yours. Therefore, you're responsible for helping make it happen, doing what you can to make it happen. And if you're doing something that you love, how successful you become really will not matter. And I promise, if you are acting out of love and doing what you truly love, the response, what you do from it, won't matter, because you'll be following what makes you happy. But also, this abundance card is rooted in the solar plexus chakra. And the solar plexus chakra is all about self-confidence, self-worth, your intellectual capabilities, your outlook. It's in your gut. And for you guys, I think that you're just selling yourself short because you just believe that you're not capable of it. But I also think that there's a need for you to move on from these past perceptions of yourself. And with this Samaritan refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. This is all about you. You would prefer to ignore yourself because it's more comfortable to just kind of, oh, you know, some people have dreams, but I don't get to follow them. That is baloney. That is just the biggest slice of baloney I've ever heard. It's just not true. You deserve to follow your dreams, whether that is dreams of love, dreams of adventure, dreams of a career, dreams of, man, everybody's got dreams. And like, if you don't have dreams, what the hell are you doing? Like, find some, like, have some aspiration for, I mean, if you don't want to, that's fine. Like, do what you want. It's your life, live it. But I do feel like you have drive. You know deep down that you're worth more than you give yourself credit for. But it's scary to invest in yourself and really put yourself out there because you're testing those dreams. You're testing your resolve to live in this idealized version of what you have in your head. But like, how you doing right now? Just living in these possibilities. Are you having a good time? That's up to you. I don't know why I paused that long. I don't know why I was waiting for a response. It's not coming. I'm in here alone. But I think one thing that you need to be aware of is that it will not, like, you know, the bigger your dreams, the more risk it has, the more stakes there are, the more difficulties you may face. But that's why it's important to remember that, man, you're a fighter. You've got this. Like, you are so much stronger than you believe yourself to be. And I know when you are following the calling of your soul, the universe is more than happy to provide. Because when you project that happy energy, that like, which even then, like, even if you're not happy, like, even if there's struggle involved, there's so much more satisfaction in the very least. And when at like doing what makes you, what you enjoy, what you love, or what you have passion for, or what you have purpose for, than just doing something that's easy or that is unfulfilling but allows you to live. And like, yeah, it's not like you can turn around tomorrow and like build this giant empire. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. But you got to start somewhere. And at the very least, you deserve to explore the possibilities and see what it can be, and also be open to tweaking things, to to seeing what you can truly do, because I feel like you could really shock yourself when it comes to the things that you can achieve, because you got some strong energy, and Spirit's clearly like, pile 4, you need to dream bigger. Like, you need to, have you ever seen the movie Robots? If you haven't, you need to, because listen, Big Weld says, if you can dream it, you can do it. And that's true. Also, I think that your dreams should be bigger than Aunt Fanny's bottom. Also a character in there. If you do not know what I'm talking about, look it up. But you have to understand, it does, yeah, okay, it also says this in the movie, because they're robots, so it's like, it's all about like being robots, but you know, they're like sentient, have human emotions. He always says, you know, it doesn't matter whether you're made of new parts, old parts, something parts, or spare parts. You can shine no matter what you're made of. And like, literally, it does not matter what you are made of. You can do anything you put your mind to. And I know that might sound like bullshit, but it may not look the way it does in your mind's eye. But I promise you that following that reality, or at least working towards it and looking at the possibilities, will, one, help you develop so much more, give you so much more character and grit than it would just wasting in a reality that doesn't fulfill you. But two, I mean, you might go further than you ever thought possible. So I don't know why you're sitting here acting like you're a background character energy when you've got main character Rodney Copperbottom ass energy, okay? So let's see what Spirit has to say, because your vibes are immaculate, but you just don't believe it, and you need to start believing it, because, hey simp, you dropped this, your dreams, respect them. Okay, I'm being really sassy in this reading, but to be fair, I kind of need it, because some of them have been heavier. Okay, where am I putting these? Okay. So let's shuffle a tarot now, see what Spirit has to say. Also, beware of self-fulfilling prophecies. Beware of your attitude. Look at that Six of Wands coming out there already. Yeah, Spirit's like, we know you can be successful. Let's see, Spirit. How can pile 4 make their vibes immaculate? What advice do you have for them when it comes to following their dreams? The Hanged Man. Okay, we have the Three of Wands is coming out a lot today. Okay, so, okay. Meow. Okay, we have the Three of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, the Sun. On the back of the deck, we have the Ace of Cups. Cool. Let's get some clarifying energies, please. You guys are actually getting more cards than any other pile. Look, yep, that Six of Wands wanted to come out anyway. We also have the Star. Oh my god, look at how many this is the most major arcanas that have come out in any pile so far. Also, because you guys got the most, like, y'all got the most cards, but clearly it's because Spirit's got the most thoughts. Okay. The Nine of Pentacles, clarifying the Eight of Pentacles. So I really think that you could be pretty damn abundant from this as well. Just looking at it right now, we have Pisces energy, Sagittarius energy, Leo energy, and Aquarius energy. What else, Spirit? What other thoughts do you have? We have the Queen of Cups. Awesome. Love to see it. We have the Emperor. So now we have Aries energy. Love to see it. And on the back of the deck, we have a Hermit energy. Yeah, okay. You just got like all of them. The whole... So we also have Virgo energy. So let's just talk about this. Spirit is saying with this Hanged Man clarified by the Six of Wands, you have to surrender your expectations of what success looks like and surrender your expectations of outcome. Instead, follow the journey and be open to just taking the first few steps. This is not about a destination. This is about a process, about actualizing your dreams. You know, this doesn't happen overnight. You have to grow and learn and put yourself out there and develop your craft. For some of you, like this just doesn't happen overnight. But if you have this very what's the word, like one-track minded-esque synonym for that. If you have a very like single-minded view of what success looks like or what you need to do, that's part of the problem. You need to surrender the idea that you know what's going to happen, but know that if you are following your dream, you're headed in the right path. With this Temperance and the Star, there's a need to balance your energies and also be patient with your progress. This is patience in the journey and trusting that it's all gonna happen in time. Like, you can't mess up your path. But with this star here, one, you gotta believe that you're a star. You are a gold star, but also that you're worthy of hope, that you have to believe that you're worthy of really amazing things. And with this Temperance card here, I feel like this is divinely guided for you. And with the Sagittarius energy, it's like really free-spirited. And I feel like Spirit wants you to not be afraid to step outside of the box and be unique. Follow your own independence. And they're saying like, yeah, this is going to take hard work. We're not saying it's not. But one, I think it could be very fruitful financially. And also, you're actually putting yourself to the test. You're actually giving yourself the opportunity to live up to your potential and expand your path into something more than you thought. This could have something to do with your psychic abilities. So we do have water energy here. But I also think that this will be the most emotionally fulfilling path for you. And if you aren't banking on certain expectations of a level of success, all you have is open opportunity and room to grow. That's it. And if you focus on what makes you happy, on what you love, then you're in control of your own destiny. With this Emperor card here, I think that this path has real potential to not only make you really happy, but you could be really, really good at it. Like, really good at it. You know, this is major here. Like, I wish I was in front of you so I could like shake you and be like, dude, stop looking at yourself as like the background character. Like, you're not. You have so much. You are so gifted in whatever it is that you want to do. You gotta start respecting your gifts. Like, I feel like your guides are like making me like be aggressive with you because you just refuse to believe in how amazing you are. And I'm not going to stand for that. Nuh-uh, we're not doing that. And if you'll notice here, none of these cards have any swords energy. Yes, we do have the Star, which is Aquarius energy, but Aquarius is all about hope and following that inner light and seeing the best. And also, this could be very fruitful. We have a lot of victorious energy here. And what I think is so important for you to understand is that because there is no swords energy here, your thoughts are not going to define this or create you. And in fact, your thoughts and perceptions about yourself could be what's holding you back. Instead of wondering how to do it, just get started. Like, and I know that's a lot easier said than done, but like, it really is a process. Like, it does not happen overnight. Expect yourself to fail. Expect yourself to not do well sometimes. It's all about growing and getting better and becoming the person that you're meant to be. Like, I'm trying to think of like a celebrity, like Ariana Grande, for example. You know, she started out, well, okay, she's always been amazing, to be fair, wildly talented, yes. But even then, she has still improved massively. Who's somebody else? Lil Nas X. Like, he just started by making songs that made him happy. And, like, look where he is now. Like, Grammys. Living his best life and being his best self. And the best part is that he is himself. And that he is literally living his dream, and at least I would assume. But he started from nothing, and look at where he is now. And with the power of social media, like, bro, you can grow so quickly. Like, all it takes is like one TikTok, one YouTube video, one viral video, one person discovering you, one opportunity to get you where you need to be. And instead of worrying about, oh, what if I fail? Expect to fail. Expect to be knocked down. Expect to be criticized, because the more you shine brightly, the more people will be there to bring you down. That's just the truth of life. It's just a fact. There's always going to be curmudgeons that come out of the shadows and try to dull your shine. But I promise you that when you're on the other side of it, you will realize how little their opinion matters and how wrong they are. And you'll realize, oh, they're just miserable because they're not going after what they want to do. So instead of being worried about what people will say, don't take yourself too seriously. Just follow what makes yourself happy, because you'll get there. And with this Hermit card here, it's all about your inner light. And with this Ace of Cups here, I feel like Spirit is saying there will be ample opportunities. Ample opportunities. And the more you just keep doing what you love, no matter how weird it is, no matter how outside of the box it is, no matter how little reception it gets, as long as you're following what makes you happy, you're in control of your destiny and you're going exactly where you need to go. I think all you need to do is just, like, I feel like Edna mode, like, pull yourself together. Like, don't look back on the past, darling. It distracts me from the now. Like, don't think about the time you wasted. Don't think about the mistakes you made. Think about what you can do with the time now and get going. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what you've been through. Everybody has to start somewhere. Take, what's her name? I think her name is, like, Jenny something. She's, like, all over TikTok. She's hilarious. She's, like, the flight attendant, the girl that used to be a flight attendant. She makes all those funny ass TikToks. Like, she blew up so fast. You know why? Because she's talented and she's hilarious and she's clearly smart and, like, has such a bright, positive energy. And, like, man, it really doesn't take that much. You just gotta start somewhere. You'd be so surprised at what people like. Like, you know, anyway, okay, like, I started reading tarot on YouTube solely because I loved it, and it's just something that made me happy, and it grew into something more. And all the time, I'm, like, blown away that anybody even listens to me, and, like, the fact that I'm even able to help other people is, like, the most meaningful thing in the world to me. And, like, I'm just so immensely grateful, and I'm grateful you're here. I'm grateful for you. Thank you. I love you. But when you actually, like, start applying yourself, like, I'll use myself as an example. Like, you can go back and look at my first YouTube video. It's still up. Like, it's a lot different, you know, because it was my first one. I just started and I built, and you will see if you watch my readings over time, which they are timeless, by the way. So if you feel drawn to any of them, unless they have, like, a specific date in them, all of my readings are timeless. You'll see how my style evolves and I've grown. And, like, here's the thing. I'm not stagnating here. I'm still going to keep growing and evolving and expanding, because you build off of what you start. And so instead of thinking about where people are already at, stop comparing yourself to them. That's their journey, not yours. Respect yourself enough to just get started and put the work in, because what you put in is what you will get out. And yes, it's hard in areas like acting, for example, where, you know, there is a lot of competition and it's easy to get rejected. But if you're doing what you love, then you'll have the drive to keep doing it. And no matter what, whether you get one small role or you become the next superstar, if you're doing what makes you happy, then you can't fail. That's a success in itself. And really the only failures in the world are the people that don't listen to what their soul is trying to tell them, and instead just shit on people who are living their dreams. That's their problem, not yours. We don't have to worry about them. Hating on you does not make them more successful. So, meh. Don't need it. And the more you follow what you love, the more confident you'll be, and the more you'll realize how other people's opinions just don't matter anyway. So follow your dreams. Expect more for yourself. Have higher expectations. Believe that you are worthy of the best things. You are the creme de la creme. I'm trying to think of like super amazing, like luxurious things. But I'm having trouble thinking about it. I don't know, I'm blanking, but you're awesome. You need to start treating yourself that way. And go after your dreams, man, because your vibes are immaculate. But you gotta stop treating yourself like nobody will care about it. Because clearly Spirit has thoughts. And with these many major arcanas here, it's clearly part of your soul's purpose to follow your dreams. Like with that Cinderella card, a dream is a wish your heart makes. And like, first of all, you gotta follow your heart. And like, second, listen, her stepmother, her stepsisters, haters. And what do they get? Not shit. They get to drink their haterade and reel in the fact that they were mean as shit to her, and now she's vibing in a castle with her prince hubby. And like, yes, of course, like Disney movies are not the best example of that, but that song keeps coming through, so it felt valid. But let's see what self-care you can do, pile. Dance. So maybe for some of you this is related to like dancing or something. Okay, let's just see what's coming out. So we have dance. Plan a vacation. Ooh, yeah, that would be awesome. Abundance planning. Yeah, so maybe for some of you, you know, thinking about how you can make this work and setting those intentions so that you can go after this, or maybe planning a vacation to a place you might want to move, planning anything really. Massage. Yeah. Take care of your body. The body keeps track, I'll tell you. And on the back of the deck, we have write a gratitude list. And I think that's really, really, really important, because with this, write a gratitude list, like thinking about the things that you're grateful for instead of the things that you don't have is an excellent like way to start looking at the glass half full, especially if you're somebody who really struggles to have a more positive outlook. We're about to look at animal totems. So these are signs that you're on the right track. Communication from the universe through animals. But as I'm cutting the deck, I see butterfly emerging. Take the leap of faith. And so I definitely feel like you are meant to follow what makes you happy. Take that leap of faith. But okay, so Spirit, what do you want to say to pile 4? What animal totems are relevant to pile 4 that you need to be aware of? Dear, trust, approach the situation with a light heart. Yeah, this is all about not taking yourself too seriously. Like, just following what makes you happy. And like, you know, don't be afraid to laugh at yourself and just like stepping into your power. Don't take a back seat in your story. This is exactly, stop being the NPC. Be the main character. It's time to step up. Maybe you're meant to be in the next Step Up movie. Do they even make those anymore? Panther, protection. Consider who you allow to take your energy and who you give it away to freely. Yeah, so don't give it away to the people that like want to tear you down and make you feel bad about yourself. And look at that. Kangaroo, courage. You are being tested. Have faith and stand in your truth. Exactly. Like, yeah, Spirit's just telling you everything that I said. And guess what? On the back of the deck, we have the peacock. Self-love, time to celebrate you and all your magnificent light. Yeah, pile 4, you're so awesome. You need to get over the fact that you're so amazing and just start embracing it, because you are. And the more you recognize that, the more you'll realize how worthwhile your dreams are going after and how deserving you are of having them. Hey, simp, you dropped your dreams. Take them back, please. Yeah, so all of these animals here are animals that are working with you. And when you're just existing in life, if you see these animals, that is the universe's way of giving you the specific message behind the card and just reminding you that they're watching and they want the best for you. And I also just saw this hedgehog. I cut the deck and it says acceptance. Embrace who you are. That's a main character. So start embracing it, because you're amazing and you Just need to accept it, dang it. Okay, pile 4, I'm going to leave this reading here. Let me say, you passed the vibe check, but you need to believe that you passed the vibe check, because you're creating a self-fulfilling prophecy by believing that you're not. But if you watch this all the way through, thank you so much. And thank you so much to the people who watch my ads. You have the most immaculate vibes, and people with YouTube Premium, don't worry. You have those premium vibes. You support me just by watching me. If you enjoyed this video, I'd definitely love it if you left a like. If you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribed. If you want to. And definitely comment down below, give some support to other pile 4s. You all are amazing. You all are going to do the absolute most. You should be so proud of yourself. I'm so proud of you already, because I know you're going to go after your dreams and see your worth. I'm not even going to pretend like you're not. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for letting me read your cards. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye.